Hi everyone, I'm Charlotte Kilpatrick reporting for VaccineNation from the World Vaccine Congress in Barcelona. Today I'm delighted that we're joined by Professor Jonathan Heeney of DIOSynVax and Cambridge University. Thank you for your time. To kick us off, would you kindly introduce yourself in your current role?
Well, first of all, it's wonderful to be here. Pleasure to meet you, Charlotte. I'm currently the Chief Scientific Officer of DIOSynVax, a spin out of the university that I founded in 2017, thanks to the great entrepreneurial spirit that the University of Cambridge encourages, and that environment is really flourishing. So DIOSynVax stands for Digitally Immune Optimized Synthetic Vaccines, and we use computational methods to look at protein structures of pathogens like viruses that are usually highly variable and that mutate and generate variants. And our strategy is to develop very broad protective vaccines that will protect from a variety of different possibilities that may cause the next pandemic.
Fantastic. So you joined us, your first sort of role was chairing the technology showcases. Can you tell us about any trends or interesting sessions in this?
Well, the technology showcase really covered a broad spectrum of different innovations in the whole vaccine arena, everything from vaccine design to manufacturing to better ways to express viral antigens, and actually cheaper and faster ways to make vaccines. So it really was the whole spectrum, as I said, of possibilities. And it's interesting to see how fast the technology is moving. And I wonder if the field actually can keep up with the advance in some of the technologies.
It's a very interesting challenge, isn't it? So you are also participating in the One Health and Veterinary track, in which you are discussing computationally designed vaccines to prevent the next pandemic. Can you tell us a bit about your work here?
Well, first of all, it's really important to understand that approximately 75% of human infections have their origins from the animal kingdom. And as you know, there are various threats out there, such as right now bird flu. There's previously been a pandemic in 2009 called swine flu. And of course, a variety of different viruses are out there in nature infecting humans all the time. And it's only when they acquire an R0 high enough to go from and efficient enough to be transferred from human to human that we then get into an epidemic or pandemic situation. But it's very difficult to understand what the next agent is that's going to cause a pandemic. And therefore, what I'll be talking about this morning is how to make these broad vaccines and get them ready if and when the next spillover occurs. And I'll be focusing this morning on the situation around the world with avian influenza, where we've seen a number of spillovers to humans.
Fantastic. Well, it's great to hear that very contemporary case study. So you're also on a panel that will consider AI's implications or applications for vaccine research. What do you think we should be really excited about for AI, and what should we be cautious with?
Well, AI, is a very broad encompassing term, and it's got a number of different applications. We use machine learning and computational tools and leverage AI to help us make vaccine antigens, those protein structures that best engage our immune system and instruct it to give a very broad response. But AI is also used to gather information on how vaccines are protecting the population, what kind of immune responses are important, and that information can be fed back as well. But there's even broader aspects. In the case of an epidemic or a pandemic, we can now model where we best need to have vaccines ready, and at what stage of a pandemic to implement them, and at best help save human lives. So in a positive sense, AI can really, really help us. On the negative sense, it's all about how AI is used responsibly and equitably.
Definitely something to think about. So my final question is about what you've taken from your time at the event this year. Have there been any sort of key lessons, or what's been the benefit of joining us?
Well, I think the key lessons is that it's a global world. Pathogens don't care, and they'll pop up anywhere. And it's making sure that we have vaccines ready around the world, where and if, and exactly at the right time at the right place. And of course, as you know from the last the COVID pandemic, we weren't able to get vaccines to many places in the world, and the virus still replicates and new variants arise. So vaccines will only work if they're widely distributed and everybody has access to them, and they're educated about the benefits of vaccines.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I hope the rest of the Congress is productive for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.